YouTube, what's the deal? It's your girl Jahira, and I am back. Back to offer you part 3 in my Give Me Face first makeup tutorial. As you know, we are going for an evening look. It's a very dramatic effect, very high society and hoity-toity and whatnot. And we are now on to the eyes. Now, I was going for, and I am going for, a very soft yet defined eye with a winged liner. And as you can see, I have done one eye already, so I will show you that now. It's very soft. I was going for very luminescent, almost a candlelit kind of feel to it with a winged line and enough mascara to choke a horse. No, I'm just kidding. But, so yeah, that's my eye look. And it's sort of, you know, and again, as I've stated before, there really are no rules when it comes to makeup. But for the look that I'm going for on this particular evening, I really want my lips to pop. So I'm offering a counterbalance to my lips with a softly defined, yet very, very dramatically winged eyeline. So let's get to it. All right, y'all, let's get this going. So, FYI, I am bone tired, but let's make it happen. The only thing that I have done on this eye so far is applied a primer, and I've let it dry. So, to start this look off, I am going to be applying Urban Decay's Primer Potion in Sin to my lid and pretty much up. I'm so gonna have to figure out which eye I already did. All right, let's dance. It goes on incredibly creamy, and by itself it actually makes for a great cream eyeshadow, but under shadow it really does provide this luminescence. It's a fantastic, you know, it's reading more brown in my camera, but it goes on very, very, almost like a champagne. And I'm just using my finger. Again, never underestimate the power of your 10 best makeup tools right at your disposal. I'm just using my finger to kind of blend that in. Don't worry about it being perfect because it's going to be covered anyway. But this just is going to give my shadow that I'm actually physically applying a bit of a glow from within, which is always a good thing. I am next going to be applying my NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk, the world famous. And I am just tracing that, okay. I'm tracing that right under my brow, right on the brow bone, and kind of blending it out once again using my fingers. Now I do this because I really want to highlight the arch of my brow, and it's not going to stay exactly like this, but once the look is done you'll see why I did it. So moving on to the shadows that I'm going to be using, it's actually like deceptively simple. Where is my brush? Oh, brush. And now I've dropped everything. Arg. All right. Y'all, hold on. Ugh. This would never happen to Kevin Aucoin. May he rest. Makeup god that he was. All right, so I'm just taking a wide shadow brush. It's pretty fluffy. Not incredibly flat. Anyone will do. I tend to use cheap makeup brushes because I just don't require like fox fur and stuff. But yeah, I'm just taking this. Oh, shoot. So this is the shadow I'm going to be using. It's a single shadow from MAC. And the shadow is known as Jest. As in, surely you jest. And it is, I can't believe I'm doing this hand thing. It's not really reading the way I need it to, but it's a pinky, peachy, well, it's almost a pinky champagne lightly shimmered eyeshadow. And this I'm just patting on all over the lid. All over. I am one of those people. Some people pat, some people sweep. I do both. I start at the inner corner, I pat to the outer corner, and then I sweep. I'm a sweeper. And I'm going, I mean, really, from the lash line to, I guess, the beginning of the crease. The crease is going to be cut anyway. And I'm actually going to take this and go all the way up. Now, in makeup terms, this is called a wash. Now, the reason why I put the milk pencil right under my lash line is so that when this goes over it, it still has a highlighting effect. So really, just all over is perfectly fine. You really can't screw this part up. So my inspiration for, and I have probably mentioned this before, in which case I'm redundant, but my inspiration for this look was really Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe was known for a very defined brow, a winged line, or just a very, pronounced eyeliner, a softly cut crease eye, and those full, voluptuous, knock 'em dead with one punch red lips. So this is the point where I cut the crease. And this is, what I'm using to cut the crease is MAC. It is, it's a MAC pigment. I'm still going to have to put the cap back on it to read the name of the shade. But it is from the Warm Tartan Tale collection. And how cute is this box, people? And the shade is, the MAC will make you think you need an optometrist. Most Darling. Most Darling. I really hope that doesn't say Most. Yeah, Most Darling. And it's just a great brown. It's not super duper in your face brown, but it gets the job done. So I'm just dipping it in. It is shimmery. I mean, it does have a shimmer to it. Slightly golden flecks are in right with the brown. By the way, that's the brown. But not so shimmery that it can't cut a crease. I kind of have issues with cutting a crease with shimmer shadows. I prefer matte. And again, I'm starting, because my eyes are somewhat deep set, the crease of my eye is sort of undefined and very, very low to my eye. So I sort of cheat a little, and I'm actually going sort of right on that bone, the orbital ridge. And it's just like, I mean, if you've ever had a car with windshield wipers, people, back and forth, and back and forth, and I'm going pretty far in to give my eyes a little more of a rounded appearance so that when I wing the shadow, it'll pop a lot further. And you can really just take this up as far as you want it to go. And I'm just going back and forth and back and forth. And I'm going to dip in one more time and kind of close this area out. I personally really like my outer quarters to be sort of the most concentrated with color and then just kind of blend in. But whatever you choose to do is really okay. Now you'll find that there are a lot of YouTube personalities that feel the need to put tape, here in order to get a very precise line. But I mean, I'm not a big fan of it, to be honest. I'm not a big fan of that huge, like really stiff line, I like makeup, even when it's a little more on the dramatic side, to seem more organic than that. I like diffusion. I like blurred. I'm not a big, this is my crease kind of person. But that's just me. All right. So I'm pretty defined at the moment as far as the crease. And people, it really was that easy. So I'm moving on to liner. I am using, and y'all, I'm going to have to look away from the camera to do this because for me, liner's kind of a precise thing. But hopefully y'all will still be able to see it. I am using L'Oreal's HIP, High Intensity Pigments, Color Truth Cream Eyeliner in black. How about you take the top off, Jahira? This is what it looks like on the inside. Just as black can go. Kind of reminds me of Boot Black, but that's just me. And y'all, please don't get it twisted because I am not a MAC head by any means. This is just, I mean, this particular look was the direction I was going in. I will pair, you know, a Makeup Forever shadow with like a dollar store gloss and think nothing of it. So for me lining my eye, I don't start, damn it, wrong eye. I don't start in the inner corner and work my way out. The reason why I do not do this is because I have very deep set and close set eyes. And to bring my liner all the way in draws the attention right here and makes my eyes look very, very close together. There are times when I will do that if that's the look I'm going for, but I really wanted a wide set look today. So the way I'm going to wing my eye, wrong eye, is I am starting from right where the color of my eye begins. So if you're looking straight ahead of the camera, I'm starting right here, right there, sort of at the beginning of the second third of my eye, and working my way out. Because that does give the appearance of a wider set eye. And I do it so that I start off kind of thin, so it sort of gives the effect that it's coming out of my eye naturally, and thicken it up as I work my way out. And I'm now pretty much done with this part of it, and it really just comes down to winging it, which I'm doing now, God willing. Yeah. You know, I'm not a big fan of like the huge, like, you know, batshit crazy 80s pop band wing. I just like a little flick upwards. And because my face really isn't symmetrical, like my eyes, this one is more almond shaped and this one is rounder. I sort of have to do them both differently in order to achieve a symmetrical effect. Using the same gel liner, I'm just going the littlest bit on the outer corner of my lower lid, right at the lash line. And I can take that in a little bit more. Yeah, and that's pretty much it for eyes. With regard to mascara, very, very simple, very straightforward. I'm using Chanel Inimitable. And this is actually the tester version. And y'all, if you are a girl on a budget or a person on a budget, and you want to try out a new product, but don't necessarily, especially if it's higher end, but don't necessarily want to or have the money to spend on it, see if they have a tester first and buy that. I picked this up off of Amazon for $9. You know, you can't really go wrong. But P.S., and not to just plug a product, I will be getting the full version of this. Because this is, bar none, like the best mascara I think I've ever used. And again, wrong eye, people. I am tired. When applying mascara, now this I can pretty much do. Yeah. I always start at the root and then sort of do this whole I'm brushing my teeth thing. You wiggle and then head out. You wiggle and just follow through to the ends. Wiggling and following through, people. This thing catches every lash you ever had in your whole life, and even some that you didn't know you had. And I'm just doing the bottom lashes. Some people hold it just like this, like at a really vertical angle. I prefer my lower lashes to kind of go down and then away from my face, because again, I'm giving the illusion of width here. So I just kind of head at a diagonal direction. So those are the eyes for the moment, my dears. And I'll throw on another coat of mascara while this thing is off. But next up is part 4, people. We've got lips to do. And oh my goodness, do we have a lip to do. So stick with me. Thank you so much for following me this far. And one love.